Well, Mike, you've put a ton of sweat equity into being on the front lines, right? That picture, as you're starting to be like, all right, I'm gonna pass the torch. I'm riding out. Like, what do you want to see? Like, where do you see? You've seen a lot. You've seen where it's headed.
Yeah.
Like, what would you like to see get accomplished in your lifetime on that big picture side of things? Make it all like, all right, good. This is going in the right direction.
Again, this is my one personal opinion. Okay, just to make that clear.
Yeah.
Presently, we have surveys done by National Marine Fisheries Service, as well as state-based surveys. The federal ones are with the Bigelow and the Albatross, and they go to the same location, same time of year in the spring and the fall to do the surveys. Now, they come back in many instances with the status of the stock that's inconsistent with our observations on the water, such as with black sea bass, and other species. And we need to privatize it. It's already done from a standpoint up in Alaska. That council up there, I think it's called the Pacific Council, they have privatized it to the commercial fleet, does the surveys in addition to National Marine Fisheries Service. So I would we or the National Marine Fisheries Service is going down that road to do that, to privatize it, but also recreationally. But I talk about that Rec Bio project that we're doing for cod. We have to rely on citizen science. We have to rely on the for-hire, the rec, and the commercial fleet to provide the data and information of our observations on the water, and then that they use that for fishery management purposes in addition to the surveys they're doing. That's going to provide us confidence in the data. The fact that there's a disconnect now that we can't participate and provide that, we then don't trust the system, or many don't trust the system. So I would hope it goes down that road to do that, and then with funding cuts, I think that's the only way to go. But one thing I have found through this recreational bio project that I would have, that Willie Goldsmith and Jeff Kneebone and Anna Mercer are doing incredible work in this, what it takes to be able to take that data and actually use it for fishery management purposes. There's a certain things you have to do, because there's a lot of apps out there, but if those apps aren't doing what they need to see to use it for fishery management purposes, and that's where that's the biggest thing to overcome. So that's where I would hope it comes to that, because we all continue to hear it. I see fish here, I see fish there, and and you're making cuts. How can you do that?
You mean to tell me that we're making blanket rules and laws and regulations off of not utilizing all the information that's available to us?
I wish it was a lines of evidence type of thing, but with science, with the PhDs in the science, you have to show 5 to 10 years of data. So that's the other problem too, where we've had these changes from change in temperatures and shifting or expanding stocks. They have to show 5 to 10 years of this consistency until they use it. And that's one of the problems is what we're dealing with right now. So that's where the hope is that commercially and rec or for hire, in my opinion, can help provide that data. And I look at it as more lines of evidence of what's actually out there.
That's a really, really easy to understand way of putting it, where it's heading towards that goal of like, this is what reality is. Now we've been showing you this for 10 years. Now we can get proactive about it instead of be reactive. And I think for a lot of us, that's been our issue with fisheries management. It seems very reactive, and getting to that proactive of state is something that you'd like to see, and that's a path that makes sense of getting there.
So so ICAT moves at a glacier speed. Our fishery management here in this country maybe moves at a snail speed. So it's good and it's bad. You have to, it has to be science-based to back it up, and sometimes that's where that gets frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially when you're at the far end of it.
Oh, yeah.
Far removed.
Making a living.
So that's why we really appreciate talking with guys like yourself to kind of explain in easy to understand terms where it all comes from. For your average tuna guy, all he knows is that, well, shit, after August 12th, I can't keep any. They don't know who to even shake their fist at.
Don't blame them for being upset.
Yeah,
I'm upset too. We're all upset. But now we got to do what we have to do to try to do something about it. But in the interim, it's impacting the recreational angler, the for hire. It's impacting the tackle shops, the hotels, the marinas. I mean, it's just that whole blue economy is significant, and especially as it relates to bluefin, because people will come up here, they'll rent a hotel room, they'll stay here for a few days, and
New England and Cape Cod are an international destination for bluefin tuna fishing. I mean, there are people that come from Japan, people come from Australia to experience the fishing for our bluefin tuna. So it's a major industry here, the recreational fishing. But to me, and like I want to make this clear, like not being able to keep one's not a deal breaker for me going out
too much fun.
Bluefin tuna fish.
They're too much fun.
And that shouldn't be a deal breaker for people. I understand it's a major part of it, and that some people see it as, I need my tuna to go home with, and I understand that. But if you have a trip booked, don't cancel it just because you can't keep them. I mean, the captains are going. If you want to, especially the southern New England fishery right now, they'll pivot to mahi if you want to go get some meat. Yeah. Like they'll spend some time chasing mahi down.
Like talk to them. Like I do want to take something home. What's my options? Because
definitely
every captain will be like, you want to catch tuna because we all do. Let's go do that, and then we can go do this and this, and you can take some meat home from something else that's delicious, because there's a lot of tasty stuff on the peripheral of a tuna trip.
Right, and so you have those other options, but in addition to most of the for-hire fleet, I think there was just a big announcement of one out of Nantucket caught that monster general category, that commercial fish. But most of the for-hire fleet has the commercial endorsement, so they can take you fishing, and then they could sell the fish.
Yeah.
So.
It depends on the captain whether sometimes they'll give you, a lot of times they'll pay it forward. Here's a discount. You get a discount on your next trip.
Look at the fine print, because the fine print will tell you how they want to deal with that. They'll either split something with you, pay for the next trip, or it just depends what it.
The fish belongs to the boat is always like the clarifying thing, but maybe don't worry about the tip, or we'll get you 20% off the next trip. And some guys are just like, you just had this amazing experience.
Yeah. And then you could tag and release the wreck fish. Now, that still gives an option. I hope people aren't. I know they are canceling. I'm getting the complaints.
Yeah.
But
we got to turn that around, and it's
on the other end of the spectrum. It's an opportunity to get a very coveted date with a coveted captain. If he's got a last-minute cancellation at the prime part of the season when the fishing's good, keep an eye out on the social media because I've seen last-minute open boat posts going up in the last week or so. So we're recording this a week after the regulations went into place, and already seeing some open boats go up there. So good opportunity to get out there, get fishing with some captains that we would have had to book 12 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, it's that experience. It is something that will last a lifetime. I mean, tuna stays fresh for what? 5 days, if you really take care of it, 8 days, like that's a very small window. So don't cost yourself basically an experience that lasts a lifetime. And if you're out there on the wreck side of things, just be responsible. You have to catch and release, still report your fish, right?
Also, part of the regulations, you're not allowed to land them. So the fish has to remain in the water. Right. You're not allowed to take that fish into the boat.
Brings up a whole new set of situations, right? Like, go prepared to handle the fish. Get yourself a pair of wiring gloves to handle the fish safely. Get a de-hooker so that you can get the hook out. Get a swim hook.
Also, it's not like we went from 10 fish to 0.
No,
it was
I
one
understand.
fish. People were catching and releasing them anyhow.
Actually, if you look at the HMS recreational rules, you're not supposed to take any one of those pelagics out of the water.
Yeah, but
that's against the law. But I'm just stating that. So if you want to increase your potential to get nailed, put that on social media and.
But another issue
is that's going to impact mortality.
But what I was getting at is back to mortality. Another issue is a lot of these people are newer tuna fishermen, right? Because there were so many fish. It was
how accessible they are,
right?
how
so how experienced they are. All that stuff comes into play, and it's a catch and it's closed right now, right? So if you're going to still enjoy it, you have to respect it. You have to follow the rules, but like. Catching a fish and releasing it, not taking it out of the water. If that fish dies, what I'm saying is I think there's a lot of people that don't have a lot of success releasing fish because maybe they went out and they caught their bluefin or they caught their limit and they're like, all right, let's go do something else. But releasing the fish the right way and
Right.
learning how to do
Right.
that properly in a situation, if you're still going to do it now and you have to release them anyways, might as well take the extra steps to know the right way to get that fish back and healthy so it survives. Is all
And
my
please,
point
the
is.
best thing they could do, they want to support the science. Contact Walt Golette.
Yep.
Get his DNA fin clips.
Yep. Very
And
easy to
get
do.
them
Fun.
in because we need that recreational data set. There's a plenty commercially.
Yep.
We have increased the recreational data set because there's some dedicated captains. And,
We've done it for pretty much every trip we've gone out
for
since we
years.
had 'em.
You have to do that.
Yep.
So,
And
or
it's
we
easy.
go to the table and we're trying to get the quiver with the arrows and we don't have the quiver.
Yeah.
We need that in order to fight the battle at the table, the fishery manager table. So,
Here's the data. Here's it showing there's clear mixing at
Yep.
a high level
Yep.
from DNA studies
Yep.
on fish taken in the Northeast U.S. Give us more quota.
Right.
So that helps your argument when
Right.
you go to ICAT.
Right.
And yeah, that's a great.
Yeah, we'll put the Google Sheets link in the description of this podcast. Mike, always good to see you, dude.
Nice seeing
Thanks
you
for
all.
having.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
thanks for joining
Listen,
us.
I'm happy to be here. I appreciate it.